They called him Obinne, the ice-heart billionaire. A man who never smiled unless it was a photo op. He lived in a mansion with a glass rooftop, an Olympic-sized pool, and servants who never dared make eye contact. He dated models, diplomats' daughters, and married women who liked danger. But no one ever stayed. Why? Because Obinne didn't do love. He did control. Until she came. Amara arrived in a white van full of cleaning staff. Just another village girl, wearing a faded wrapper, with her hair wrapped in a scarf and a tired look in her eyes. She was quiet, kept her head down, but there was something different. The way she moved, like she owned her space, even while scrubbing his marble floor. The way she didn't flinch when he passed by shirtless. The way her silence wasn't fear, it was confidence. Obinne noticed. And that made her dangerous. It was late when Obinne wandered into the kitchen, sleepless. That's when he saw her, Amara, barefoot, standing over a pot of reheated jollof rice. Her wrapper was loose, face calm, eyes steady. She turned. They locked eyes. "You're not allowed to eat after hours," he said, his voice sharp. She didn't flinch. "Then punish me," she replied, calm and unshaken. That night he couldn't sleep. Her voice echoed in his mind. Her fearlessness burned into his thoughts. The next day, he found reasons to linger near the kitchen. Not watching, just present. Just available. He asked for tea he didn't want. Ordered meals at odd hours. She responded with tight nods and sharp, precise words. No smiles, no small talk. He was used to submission. Flirtation. Pretend sweetness. But her silence, it rattled him. So he tested her. He began forgetting his dress shirts near her quarters, assigning her to clean areas already spotless. He insisted she serve his meals personally, even though she wasn't the most senior among the staff. The air between them grew heavy with something neither could name. Each glance held electricity. Each silence screamed louder than words. Until one night, when it snapped. She was dusting his study when he walked in and quietly shut the door behind him. She turned, calm as always. He stared at her, at the woman who had haunted his thoughts. "You think I don't notice you?" he said, voice thick. "You think I don't dream about that mouth you keep shut?" She took one slow step toward him, eyes unblinking. "Then stop dreaming," she said, her voice a velvet dagger. "And take what you want." Time stopped. What followed wasn't romance. It was surrender, release, fire. He kissed her like he was drowning, like she was air. She held him like she had waited years to be touched. They didn't undress with grace. They tore into each other. It wasn't gentle. It wasn't sweet. It was raw. Hungry. Forbiddance. The polished walls of power bore witness to something messy, real, human. And in the shadows of a mansion built on wealth, on fear, on control, a king lost his crown, and a maid made him feel like a man. They became addicted. Every night, she entered his room through the back stairwell. Every morning, he acted like she didn't exist. She hated it. "What am I?" she asked him once. "Your secret toy. A body you can borrow and toss away." Obinne didn't respond. Because the truth. He was terrified. He was falling for her. A maid. And didn't know how to survive that kind of vulnerability. One morning, she was gone. No note. No goodbye. Just an empty room where her scent still lingered. Obinne noticed it the moment he walked past the servants' quarters. Her door was ajar. Her bed, untouched. Her clothes gone. Panic hit him like cold water. He tore through the estate like a man possessed. Questioned every guard, every maid. His voice echoed off the marble walls like thunder. Where is she? He fired 2 staff members on the spot for knowing too much and saying too little. He ripped the sheets from her bed, flipped open her drawers, searched her quarters for any clue. Nothing. Just silence. Then, in a hushed hallway corner, one cleaner whispered the truth. Voice barely audible, eyes downcast. Sir, she's pregnant. She left so you wouldn't shame her. The words stopped him. Pregnant. Left because of him. He stood frozen in the middle of his spotless mansion, surrounded by wealth, power, and emptiness. A man who had everything, and just lost the only thing that ever made him feel real. Amara returned to her dusty hometown. She carried more than bags. She carried a secret. A billionaire's child, and no ring. The stares began before she even reached her mother's old plot of land. Women watched from behind doorways, their voices like snakes in the wind. So this is how her Lagos story ended. Big belly, no husband. Just shame. The men were louder. Crueler. You thought a man like that would marry you? You were just something to play with. But Amara didn't break. She built a 1-room mud house with her own hands. Sold tomatoes at the market. And every night she kissed her growing belly and whispered, "You were made in fire. You will not be born in shame." Months later, Obinne showed up in the village. No cars. No designer shoes. No guards. Just a man in a plain shirt, carrying guilt in his eyes. He walked barefoot across the village square. People stared. Whispers followed him. Is that him? The Lagos billionaire? He knocked on her door. She opened it. Pregnant. Radiant. Fierce. He dropped to his knees. I was a coward. I let pride lose the one woman who ever truly saw me. I didn't come to take you back to Lagos. I came to start over. Right here. She didn't smile. Didn't cry. Just crossed her arms. You want forgiveness, she said. Then earn it. Her voice was steady. Clear. Carry water from the stream. Plant yams beside my hut. Greet every villager with respect. Let them know you're not here to erase my shame. You're here to share it. He didn't protest. He didn't protest. The next morning, Obinne, the man who once walked boardrooms in Italian leather, was seen hauling cassava on his back. Knees bent. Hands blistered. Children pointed and laughed. Men shook their heads. But he kept going. Day after day, under the sun, in the mud, without complaint. And slowly the whispers changed. Weeks later, Obinne and Amara married under the mango tree. No designer suit. No glittering rings. Just 2 people. A community. And a child waiting to be born into something real. He was a king who had everything, until he almost lost the one woman who saw him as a man. She was a maid, but she made him beg for love on her terms. Because sometimes the most powerful love stories start in silence, burn in secret, and rise in fire.